with her. I met her one time. I was 15 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a big picture of me.
Oh yeah, the video for the interview. Oh, there we go. I can get in here real quick.
You know, I was 15 years old when I met your great grandma, and we look at each other, and well, right away she was very beautiful. I look at her, and she looked at me, and I guess she fell in love, and I fell in love with her too, and never saw her again
Oh,
until
wow.
7 years later. When I went into service, I remember her, so I started communicating by letter, and I write to her all the time, and she accepted. She said, "I want to marry you." She said, "I'll wait for you." And when I came back, I I I, I married her, but I never had gone out with her, never touched her, and we got married.
Oh,
And
wow.
therefore, that was the first time I'd ever touched her. And but she was very. They were very poor, but, and they didn't have any hardly help or anything like that. And she was very timid with me, and she was maybe she thought I was too good for her, or I don't know, but yeah.
Did she was she really tall?
Eh?
Uh, was she tall?
No, she was just a little bit shorter than me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was real skinny. She was about 5'2", about 5'2", 5'3", and I was I was out 5'4", so I was only 2 inches taller than her. Yeah, we were very short at all.
Oh wow. And you knew and you knew Henry Woods.
Eh?
Woods.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And like
Your uncle wasn't very big.
mm,
No, he was, but boy, that guy could fight, man. That guy, nobody would get close to him. Yeah, he would fight anybody, and he wasn't afraid of anything.
oh wow.
He was well known for fighting and all that, and so he used to come here all the time. And we talk, and I knew all their family. I knew every one of them. His brother was very tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was. Maybe he would have been about 6'3", something. He was tall, and then his son, his brothers, other brothers were also very tall. The Woods were very tall.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you knew Henry and Maggie?
Eh?
Henry and Margarita?
The what now?
My great grandma Maggie.
I don't. She was very tall too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was a big lady, and she used to when she was young on the corner there, right on the corner of the store.
Mm-hmm.
They used to live on that house. There was a house there, and that's where she was. They would live there for many years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Grandma.
But she was pretty tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Grandma told me how you would see them walking together. And,
yeah.
Oh wow. And like how they would always be walking to town and stuff and just together, and he was really tall and she was really small.
Yeah.
Oh wow. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was a beautiful. We used to know everybody around here, and of course the Woods would live up your uncle or your grandpa. Maybe I guess he was. I think he was your grandpa. You know the road up there. There, as you go into right on the corner, they used to live there.
Oh wow.
They used to own that place up there, and that's where they were. They lived there for many years.
Mm.
Yeah, and then the other one, uh, they live with her. The other uncles, they live with Hurley, but they were very tall too, very
wow.
tall. Yeah.
And my grandpa Eddie,
Eh?
Eddie,
Eddie Rodriguez.
mhm.
Uh-huh.
Was he? When did you know him?
Knew him. Uh, she was very young, the age of your aunt Virginia, the same. Yeah, I knew well. I knew his dad real. I knew all of them. I used to be a police officer in Bear, and they used to live in Bear. So I got to know a lot of people. I knew a lot of people, and so Eddie was real young, and then she married your grandma,
Mm.
and then well, your dad. So it was a beautiful life. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other anyone in the war around here?
The who?
Veterans in around here?
Uh-huh.
Any more?
Veterans, did you say?
Yeah, and in here.
From here? No, there's. Oh, well, no, I don't remember of any. No. Mm.
And the you know a lot of people.
Oh yeah, well, as a police officer, I used to know a lot of people, and of course it's kind of hard to remember their names and all that. But yeah, but a lot of them were very close to me. I got to know, I knew all the woods. I knew every one of them, and they were, of course, the one of them is named Chris. They named your brother after him. He was a very handsome guy, wavy hair, big. He was a big dude, man.
Wow.
They were very tall.
Oh wow.
Your great grandpa was, man. He was big. Your grandfather, he wasn't very tall.
Oh wow.
Maybe he was about 5'6", 5'8".
Oh wow.
He wasn't very tall, but the other ones were his brothers and all that. They were very tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
um, uh, did you have any favorites like grandchildren like my dad or like me or like anyone?
Did I have any what?
Favorite grandchildren?
Paper?
Favorite?
No, favors. Did you say?
Favorites? Yeah.
The only one that your grandfather used, like I say, he was the only one that was very friendly with me. He used to come here and the garage there, and we talk and all that. And then my wife's father used to work with him,
Oh wow.
and he was a very good miner in up I forgot the name of the place up there. And they were very friend. But uh, grandfather of Elisa, he was one of the best finers there were. And John Wood said, "No, if I can't compete with him, he's the best." And he was a good miner too. Your grandpa was a very good miner.
Oh wow.
But he couldn't compare with Elisa's grandfather.
Oh wow.
He was one of the best.
Hijos.
And they worked together, and it was in Mogollon. He used to work in the mines up there, and your grandpa was working with him up there. But
wow.
he used to get into trouble. Boy, he fight, like I say, he could fight anybody. He didn't care who it was.
Hey, and then grandma was telling me the Virgie, could fight really well.
Yeah, Virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Jimmy, my older son. Were Jimmy wasn't a fighter or anything, you know. But they were fighting, and then they kept him on the ground. And then Virginia came over. He was being he didn't fight. He wasn't the fighting time like myself, you know. And Virginia got a hold of that guy and beat the shit out of him. Yeah, Virginia she was a tomboy, man. She'd fight anybody, and she's very short, you know.
Oh yeah.
But she was good with her hand.
Hijo. Eh, and
And then your grandma, and Johnny are the same and the same age and for 1 month.
oh wow.
Yeah, and your grandma used to make fun. Johnny, I've finally caught with you, and Johnny would get mad with you. Oh, shut up! You know, don't tell me nothing. So they used to fight all the time. But your grandma was, she go after Johnny and say, Johnny, I'm family the same age as you now. And Johnny would get mad with it. They used to fight all the time. But
And
Rita was she was terrible, man. They didn't say anything in front of her because she would come right away and tell me, and that's why they didn't like her.
oh, and they the belt,
Eh?
the belt,
The book?
the belt,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
belt. They
yeah,
they hid it
yeah,
under the house.
Yeah.
Did they said because Grandma said that you were looking for the belt and you couldn't find it, and they buried it under the house.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were terrible. They go everywhere, and they used to make on top of a tree. They make a house.
Oh wow.
Rita and Virginia and Johnny and a little and make a little house on a tree.
Oh.
Well, they were terrible. But they were very good workers. Everyone, well, we had that station there, and they would help out and do cleaning, and even they pumped the gas and all that, and
Oh wow.
so they always were working. Yeah. But it's like everybody growing up, you know.
Hmm.
You do a lot of things that we don't know, and I won't tell anybody what I did.
There you go.
They had a lot of fun. I didn't make money, but I never had any bad habits. I never drink, I never smoke, never. And so anything that I make, it was for them. And I sent all of them. They all went to college. And like you said, your grandma and myself were in the same class.
Hey, and the when you were growing up with Clorinda and Henry and Beto, was it like working all the time, or was it fun?
Well, there were two families. The two families. My other uncle had six, and my mother and father had six. So every one of were growing up at the same time, and one or two were older than me. My other cousins were a little bit older than me, but they didn't fool around with me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was a boss, so they didn't even try to fool around with me. And around here, I used to fight all the time, and as small as I was, I never lost a fight. And they respect me. When they see me, they go to the side.
Oh.
Anyway, and then I stopped fighting. And my mother, she was a very smart lady, and I said, "You better stop stop fighting, don't. But they tell me about you, Mama. Well, tell him, thank him that at least somebody thought about me. I said, but it's bad. Well, just tell him that thank you anyway. And so I started doing that, and I stopped fighting. I never fought anybody anymore.
Oh,
Uh,
and
but my mother was she was a very smart lady.
and she
Yeah.
she gave you the 50 cents on the.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
50 cents. Did you say I show it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked. I worked about 2 years. I mean 2 months or a little bit more on out of taking care of our chips. We had about 100 sheep,
Oh wow.
goats, and we used to take them to a mesa, a big mesa, every day, and bring them back. And when I got when the school was going to start, the guy brought me home and he gave me the $10, and I gave it to my mother, and my mother gave me the 50 cents, and I didn't know what to do with 50 cents, so there it is. That was I got 50 cents in 2 months. Everything, we were used to the, My mother would take care of it, and with $10, she was a smart lady, man. She made it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the tattoo, what is it?
I don't know. I just look at it's a sailor. It's a women's sailor. But I never thought I was gonna go. I was only 10 years old, mijo.
Wow.
Look at your brothers, your little brothers, 10 years old now, That's the way I was that big, and I was already working up there
Oh wow.
on the ranch, taking care of the ships. Every day I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my uncle and I would go and take all the sheep, and we get a big male ship. Big, he was big. I used to get on top and ride him all the way. And finally, he got mad with me. He wouldn't let me get closer. And if I get close, he would go after me. So I never, I rode him for a long time, and he finally got mad with me, and he wouldn't even let me get close to him. So I stopped getting on him, but he was big and strong. But I was heck, I didn't weigh hardly anything. Yeah, it was a beautiful life.
Oh yeah. And the and you've lived here all your
The
life.
what?
You've lived here in Santa Clara every year.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Santa Rita.
Mhm.
All of us were born in Santa Rita. And then in the Depression, and then the mine started back again. They started hiring people back, and my uncle that lived with us for many years, my mother used to take care of all of them. And he moved out of the house, never came back, never helped my mother or my father. And he was working. My dad couldn't get a job anywhere. He didn't pass. So we were very poor. But and then I had to get out of school on the 6th grade. I got out and started looking for a job, and nobody would give me a job. I was too small. Then a friend of mine got a job at a lumber yard here on the end of, and I used to go with him, and I went inside the lumber yard, and a big truck full of lumber, and I took all the lumber out of the truck and put it in different places. And the owner was just looking; he didn't say anything. I went for a week, and then my friend, he quit,
Oh wow.
and when he quit, I never saw him again. Never. I don't know what happened to him, and he was my best friend. He quit, and I never saw him again.
Oh wow.
And I asked him for the job, and he said, "Well, I can pay you what I was paying here." Well, how much can you pay me? He said, "Well, I'll pay you $14 a week."
Oh
And with $14, we made it. There were six of us with $14 a week. My mother one week she buy a sack of the at that time you could with $10 you could $14 you could buy a lot of. She bought a sack of potatoes and beans and flour with a $14,
yeah. Oh
and
wow.
we had plenty to eat. We had chickens at our house. We had everything. So and a cow too. We put a cow up there. We had milk and so with a $14, and then my mother with one week she buys something, another week she bought something else. So we never suffer as far as eating. We had plenty to eat with a $14.
Oh wow.
And then I said to my mother, I said, Mom, my back is hurting me. I have to lift cement. The cement weigh 94 pounds, and I weigh 109. And I used to pick up a second. I got good. I got pick a cement, and I could throw it 6 feet high.
Oh wow.
I jump with the sack, get up and jump, and there were guys as big as you. One day I went to the mine and asked for a job, and they were all these guys that were they were the same age, but they were pretty big, and they gave them a job. I said, "Well, I'd like to have a job." He said, "Well, I don't know. You're kind of small." I say, "Well, you see those big guys that are right there? I'll bet you whatever you want to that I can beat every one of them." And he looked at me, "What can you? I can get a sack of cement, throw it 6 feet. I can throw it 5 or 6 feet high." Oh. I said, "Well, get one of them. I don't care which." I knew him real well. I used to beat the shit out of him. So they came out and got the biggest guy, and he went to lift up the cement. If you didn't have the way to do it, it's hard, And I could do it because I trained myself there. And he picked a cement, and he barely got it on. And we'll throw it up there. I can't. And then I went up, I got a cement, and pow. And that guy looked at me and said, "How in the hell did you do it?" Well, look at him, how big he is. And he can't do it. And I can't. Give me a job. He said, "I'd like to have you, but we don't have any open." So there we were. I didn't get hired or anything. So I was in bad shape. But anyway, I work at the mine, at the mill there, in the lumber yard, and I told my mother and my father he was pretty sick. He said, "Mother, I'm gonna go into the Navy." "Oh no, I don't want you to go. You're taking care of the family." I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, but I'm not getting paid, and they won't give me a job anywhere." He said, "I don't care. You don't have to go and fight my dad." My dad, he said, "If my son wants to go and fight for his country, I'll sign for him tomorrow." The following day, my dad went and signed for me, and that's how come I got into the Navy. But I only weigh 109 pounds, and I needed to weigh 110. I missed it 1 pound. And I went and ate a lot of bananas, and I ate everything to gain a pound. I couldn't. And they examined me, and like I said, the two doctors were talking, and I knew they were talking of me, so I confronted them. "You're in," and there was a blessing me for. But look, it took me. I worked for peanuts, and all my money that I was making in the Navy, they paid me $66, and out of the $66 a month, they gave me $6.40 for me, and the rest would come home and let my brothers, your uncles, four of them, and my sister had a daughter. I forgot her name now, and my mother, she took care of her, and so anyway, they were there were six of them, and she made it with the money that they were sending home and all that, and so I didn't think well, it was hurting my working on those big motors for 2 years. I noticed that I was lacking I could understand everything, but there was a few times that I couldn't, and I didn't know, I didn't know. And then when I got old, and then I started slowing down and more, and finally they sent me to Albuquerque, put me hearing aids, and it was all right. And then this one here went out, and I sent it, and they lost it.
Oh.
And they told me they were going to send you to a doctor to have you examined and get some new hearing aids. I went to the doctor, and he said, "Yeah, we'll get you hearing aids, and you'll get them in about 2 or 3 weeks, brand new ones." I went, and they called me, "Well, we got them." I went up there, and the goddamn hearing aids weren't worth a shit. It looked like my head was gonna go out. I said, "Doctor, that things are too high. They're too loud." And I guess he lowered down all he could, but he couldn't get him any lower. And it was too high. I said, "Well, there's something wrong." He said, "I'll tell you what. You go home for 15 days, and 15 days you come back, and those things will fix themselves." Oh, shit. So they're not gonna fix themselves. 15 days, they were the same thing, and he checked them out. He said, "Well, it'll be all right, and later on, if you have any trouble, come back." I said, "Hell, you ain't gonna go no more." So I call Albuquerque. I say, "That guy, that doctor, he needs to go back to school. He didn't know what he's doing." So they sent me to Damien for another doctor, and he said, "Well, I know what's wrong," and he said, "But we have to get the okay from the VA in Albuquerque." And they never called. They never did. They didn't do it. So anyway, they sent me back, and that goddamn doctor, he wasn't worth a shit, man. And finally, they sent me to another one, and they got me new hearing aids, and they were working there. I went back again to Albuquerque, and the doctor up there, as soon as he saw it, he said, those things are no good. They were too big, see? The deal, this, he said, "That's not the right one. We'll get you them fixed." So I said, "Well, how long will it take?" "Oh, it takes about 2 weeks, and you get." So they sent me a brand new, and they were fairly good, but I didn't like them, and then when they sent them back, to me, and then about 2 weeks later, these ones that they had were lost for about a year.
Oh.
They sent them brand new, so I'm wearing this one. The new ones that are up there.
Oh.
And I can hear fairly good,
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I can tell what they're saying. So, but anyway, at least I can hear and I can talk. So sometimes I don't understand what they're saying. And I got them on now. So I got two set of, and those things are worth $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I got two sets. So
Oh, wow.
I've been really, and then the veteran, uh, you have to pay. You have to pay for every prescription. They give you a prescription, and regardless, you have to pay $4 for each one of them, and I get 10 of them, so I have $4, and then my pay wasn't that good. I wasn't that good money that I was making, and I said bullshit. I went up there and I said I need some help. I can't afford to be paying $4 for 10 or 15 prescription. He said, well, we'll fix it up. Then he took everything down, and then he asked me about the war, and I told him everything. So they sent me, they say it'll be a few months before they called it. So they called me one day, 3 months. I never expected to get called. So they said, well, we're going to have to send you for a doctor to a hearing aid and a psychiatrist. So they told me you got an open in Albuquerque and one in El Paso. I said, I'll take the one in El Paso. And I went to El Paso, and the doctor lady, started asking me a whole bunch of questions. And before that, I had a guy, they came out on the paper, I wrote the whole story and everything. And my picture was in front of you know how it is now. There was a big newspaper, and I had it, everything on the newspaper with me, and I took him up there. And she started asking me about a whole bunch of questions. I said, you know what you're asking me, I have it in writing. You do? Yeah. So I told her, at least I get it out and give her to her. She saw my picture, and came out on that. He said, I'd like to take a picture of it. And I said, well, what do you want to do? Everything is there, what you're asking me. Said, you don't have to tell me anything. So she gave me 100%. And then I went to the hearing doctor. And I thought I didn't know she was a doctor. She didn't look like a doctor to me. He said, I'm Dr. So I'm gonna take care of your hearing, check your hearing, all that. Put me in a little room, and she checked it out. I said, Doctor, well, how did I come out? He said, well, I'll tell you in a month. You're gonna find out what it is. In a month, I got everything. They gave me 100%.
Wow.
And I'm making good money now.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna tell you how much. I make over 5,000 a month.
Oh wow.
You know, but they pay me $3,400. The federal government paid me 3,000, and then I retire and the government, it came out to over $5,000. So, and I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. So but I didn't know at first. We didn't get to my hearing. We went to Albuquerque, to Cruces, and the psychiatrist checked me out, and I told her what you're asking me there. I had to tell her everything, and she gave me 70%, and they were paying me, and I didn't know anything about it for 8 months. I don't know how much. I said, gee, my goddamn checking account is really going up, thousands of dollars. Something's wrong. But I didn't know. She gave me 70%. And then again they sent me again for another psychiatrist, and that's the one in El Paso, and the doctor, and the one that checked me out, the psychiatrist. He said, I don't have to ask you any more questions. What you wrote there is that everything is okay. And say you're gonna be all right. She gave me 100%.
Oh wow.
And then the other doctor on my hearing, she didn't want to tell me, but she sent me the whole deal, and it's 100% disability.
Oh.
And you're gonna be rich. I said, well, how rich am I gonna be? Well, you'll be getting a big deal out of it. We get over pretty close to 4,000.
Oh wow.
I couldn't believe it. Never had so much money in my life. So mijo, I don't have to work anymore, but I go up there with Johnny, I work on that thing there. I can get in top of that thing and work all day long, and it doesn't hurt me. I can do a lot of things with that thing. But I don't want, if I wanted to make money, I could make money with that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to. I say, what the hell, I ain't gonna kill myself anymore. I'm setting good right now. But that's the first time I worked for peanuts as a police officer. They were hardly paying me nothing. Here, they're paying me $250 a month. And $50 was for my gas. I had to furnish my own car and everything. I said, I need a job. And with those $250, I was sending all of them to college. I went to college. And then I got a job with a school as a truant officer. And I went after everybody that wasn't old enough to, there were 5 of them that weren't old enough to quit school. I went after them and said, I went with a district attorney and I asked him, I want to put a daddy in jail. What for? Because he's not keeping his kids in school. What you going to charge him with? I'm going to charge him with failing to keep his kids in school. And he said, you got it. Pick him up and put him in jail. Put him in jail. That's the currency. 100% zero.
Wow.
And they, after I got that zero, he said, well, we don't need you anymore.
Oh.
And I had 2 jobs. I take care of the town and I take care of the school. And he said, we're going to have to transfer you for a mechanic, as a diesel mechanic. And I said, how about the other job, the $200? He said, well, you're going to lose him. I said, I ain't going to lose shit, man. But I done something during my time. I caught 5 kids smoking marijuana, and there was a girl. And this girl was the daughter of a chief. He was in charge of all the mining equipment, mining down. The girl was going bad, and I went and talked to him, and he said, you don't know how much my daughter means to me. So I talked to him. I said, I want you to straighten her out and get her back in school. And he said, I'm going to do that. He said, when I was going out, Mr. Kirker, I said, if you ever need a job or anything, come to me. A week later, they wanted to kick me out. I told the superintendent, I said, you can have your goddamn job. I don't want it. They were paying me 3 times more up then my good salary and everything. He said, well, in the meantime, I say, all those kids are going back. If they're not in school in 1 week, I'm going to go and pick every one of you up and put you in jail. Zero truancy. But they kicked me out, and I'm glad they kicked me out because I got a better job.
Oh yeah.
So there you are. Okay? And doing okay.
That's good. Good. Wow.
But I tell you one thing, like I say, education to me, number one, that's the only way we can fight these SOBs. You see, you kind of a complexion the way you are. They know you're Spanish, but they change the Spanish now. They call us Latinos. It doesn't sound so bad as Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
Latino and Mexican. And when they call me Mexican, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna get back. And then the United States government, I send the deal that I gave you. I've been put in a different place. One in Ohio, one in Albuquerque, and Arizona. I send them that I want you to show them to the people what kind of a government we have, that they call us Mexican. When you go up there and fight, those Japanese didn't ask if you were Mexican or you were black or you were a bullet. They just hit you. If you kill you, you were killed. He gave his life for his country. Who the hell is going to give anybody's life? The reason I went, it was my duty to go and fight. But I didn't give my life. I won't give my life to nobody. If they take it, okay, I got killed in action. But I won't give my life. They say, give his life for his country. Say, here. So that's the way it was before. And then I got, I was a truancy officer. He said, I'm going to set an example too. I'm going to go back to school. I went to school. I took your grandma with me and my brother. We went to adult school for 2 years. And I got a good grade and everything. And then I decided I needed typing for my deals that I make, all the deals that I make. And I went back, and then I went to the college, and then your grandma, Daddy, I want to go to school with you. I could tell her no. It's okay. So I put your grandma in college, and we were together all the time for over 2 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And then of course, your grandma is very friendly and all that. When we go in, she was sitting down on the chair. I go up there and hug her and kiss her and everything. And the professor, she looked kind of suspicious. Say, by the way, Mr. Kirker, what do you got on that girl? I said, well, she's a beautiful girl, and I like beautiful girls. See, you do? You better believe I love her a lot, man. So that's why I go up there and kiss her. I like her. She's very pretty, so I don't mind going up there and give her a kiss. And then she looked kind of suspicious, you know.
Oh wow!
He said, I know what you're thinking. I said, I'm going to tell you the truth. That little girl there is my daughter. What? You mean a father and a daughter are with me for over 2 years almost, and I didn't know it. So your grandma was there, and I think I got better grades than her because she was very fast with typing. And as fast as she was, she made quite a few mistakes. I was like a turtle. I didn't make any on my first semester. I went no trouble on the second one. I lost two points, but I would have been the highest.
Oh.
But she was there with me a lot. Daddy, I want to go too.
Oh wow!
So well, it's a beautiful deal, maybe.
Cool. Oh yeah, and
So I have a beautiful life. We've been very poor. I built this house. I built it myself. The walls there. It's a beautiful wall. I learned how to put rocks. There it is, and it's straight as can be. Look at it, straight. And I built all the fences. I built Johnny's house, 150 feet all by myself. I went and got the rocks by myself. I got a little truck, Toyota, and I got tons and tons of rock. And I built a fence up there at Johnny's house. Built this fence here, and I brought all the rock by myself on that little truck. Yeah. And I put it by myself.
And then, and for my dad, then the twins.
The what?
My dad and the twins. If you saw them again, what would you say to them?
On your daddy?
And the two boys.
What do you mean? What did I what?
If you saw my dad and the twins, what would you say to them?
I don't understand exactly what you're saying. But your daddy, I save all of I gave your daddy $2,000. I gave Dion $2,000. I gave my two nephews. I'm the grandpa. Two of them on my son that I lost. He had two. I gave all four $2,000 apiece to go to school. And of course, I told you where your dad, him and your mother had a good time. He didn't go to school.
Oh yeah.
He spent the money, the 2,000 on your mama and her and him, and you went everywhere, and then they finally got married, and they had all of you, and then your dad came home one day and woke in, Grandpa, could you give me some more money? I need some money. I said, I'm gonna give you nothing. Gave you 2,000 to go to school. You didn't go. You used to. When he got mad, boy, he had a temper, man. He dropped that door there and slammed it on me.
Oh yeah.
And I said, you can slam as much as you want to, but I ain't gonna give you a goddamn penny. So, well, that's he got all of you. It's a blessing in a way, you know.
Oh yeah.
You all the four of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember your sister, you were all real little kids. She would take care of you. I saw her, how much she loves you and kiss you and take care of you. She was always taking care of you, and I admire her very much. That all of you were real small and all that, and she'd take good care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of her, yeah.
Oh wow. And the two little boys?
And
The two little boys? The twins?
The what?
The two boys? The two boys?
The two boys.
The twins?
The twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell them about me.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one that's telling them.
Mm.
And what did they say?
They said that you're very, very. They're proud of you.
Oh, that's
Very
right.
proud.
Well, you tell them you know everything about me now.
Mm.
And I keep it that at least they would know, you know. I told your dad to send me the picture. I said, send me some pictures so I can put them up there. No, never did. So I don't tell. He doesn't even call your grandma. So what can you expect?
Oh yeah.
So, I love I love him too, you know, my grandson, and I love him regardless. Well, he's in a way he's a little different, you know.
Yeah.
And he's a nice looking guy. He's tall and everything. He got everything going for him and all that. And now these two little kids, treat them right. They're your brothers. You have brothers, but they're your brothers. I don't care how you look at it. They're part of you. And if you can get to them, maybe when they grow up, maybe they come and see you, or they will never forget you, and that's the main thing, you know. Of course, you tell them about me, you know, because I could have been the most famous guy, but because of being a Mexican, they gave me nothing. They gave me a thank, which is not right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I don't care, but at least I got the proofs that I did save him, and I was the one that knocked the plane down. It's in black and white. Nobody can take that away from me, or if somebody see you, there it is, from the War Department. That plane was a big plane, mijo. And knocking a plane like that, it was an honor that anybody, because you could knock a plane down just like that, and I did. So it was a big honor for me to knock that plane down and then saving the lives and all that. But I didn't get credit for it. But anyway, it's okay. At least you know that exactly what happened because, and all the story there, and then what about a Mexican, and then a little dots. When you see the little dots, you know what they mean now.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are very smart, but they read it and they don't know what those little dots are. I do. As soon as I saw them, I said, I know those goddamn dots, what they mean. And I know I'm right. But it's okay. At least I got credit for them. And that's the main thing, you know. You can show it to anybody, and it's in black and white. And then the envelopes, I took pictures of it, and they're there. And they can see, well, he got it here or got it there. It came from the War Department. My record came from up there. And then the story, but they cut a lot of the story that I wrote. All that I wrote it, but they changed some of it. They changed a few things on it, but I didn't care because it fit all right. The only thing that I didn't like was called him Mexican. I can't stand that because I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't. It's.
But you never met anything that maybe that you've been disgraced or something like that, you know. Because it's changed a lot. Now the laws have changed a lot, and now our kids like you are getting their education, and that's what really counts. And that's what I'm telling you. If you don't go into the service, if you go into a service, you put your time there, and you have a lot of things that you can get out of the service. Look at me. They pay me good salary.
Oh yeah.
Started getting kind of cool.
There's a grandma up there talking to Guerito.
Yeah. I'll go over there and
Jimmy
take
and
a...
Guerito, they're good.
Yeah, we can sit for hours and talk.
I mean.
It's okay, but I don't let him do his work.
Oh.
So I said, I better go because you're not gonna do any work while I'm sitting here.
Oh yeah.
No, that's about it, mijo. Now you know everything, and you're the only one, eh? The only one of all my kids. And some are as big as you. 4 of them are as big as you.
Oh yeah.
And one of them only in Silver City. He's 6'3", so he's the tallest, but one. But all of you are the other ones. But they look like gringos, you know. They can, and then their name is Wilson.
Oh.
They don't have any trouble at all. So they're in a way one of them is red-headed, but they're very nice. They're very nice. Yeah. They don't show anything. Come and stay here, and they bring some people with them. They are welcome too. And they see how well they're treated and all that, you know. So we don't have any trouble at all. But the only thing is, on the service, going across, I don't think I told you that. Going across, when you pass the equator, you had to be initiated. I don't care how you do it, but the law of the Navy, you have to be initiated. So everybody had to be initiated. And since I was a barber. They called me the royal barber. I had to cut everybody's hair, but I couldn't do it. I just got, bingo, you got a haircut. And that deprived me of getting my stripes. The officer that was in charge of us, you touch me, you'll never get promoted. And the one that Butler, he liked me a lot. He was next in command. He got coming out of the Philippines. They stopped us in the middle of the ocean, and there was another ship, another LSD going up to the front, and he was going to be the new captain of that new ship. And he called me up to Kirker, I want you to go with me. I said, I'd love to go with you, but I've been told that maybe I'd be going home. I'd rather go home and get married and have a family and all that. It's not that I'm afraid to go with you, is that I'd rather go home and get married. So I got a result.
Oh yeah.
You're here.
Oh yeah.
Look at how many are here right now. It's a beautiful story and a beautiful day that
Yes.
everybody of my kids, they had a family, that family, Johnny, my girls, and then a whole bunch of kids from them, and then they're already grown up and all that. So it's a lot of difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you look at it, you say, well, from Mario and Dora. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm real happy, and then I think I never had any problems or anything. I got hurt, yeah, but that was part of my job. I had almost lost my life. I cut right there. That artery was cut right there, and the nerve was cut. I see. And now I saved the guys, two guys. I told you that I saved them alive, going in front of that mortuary. They were going to pass out, and it was going to hit the arroyo. And why did I come alive? I don't know. Just for about 1 minute or 2 minutes, I was back alive, and I saved them, and they saved me. So the doctor helped me there, but I lost the nerve, and that thing was cut. Imagine the blood, and one of the drunkards put me stopped the blooding, and he hauled me all the way to Silver City, and he saved me. He saved me by losing all my blood and all that. I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Well, everything has been a wonderful deal. I'm really happy that you came over because I think that and then your grandma give you so much credit. He said, well, if he asks for anything, give it to him. And send everything that there is to know, and at least you save all that stuff and let your kids see it and her kid. Another thing that we went back and they check us out. They gave us a talking and everything. And that talking and everything, what I did and all that, it's in Washington D.C. If you go up there, you can get me talking and everything. You can get a tape, and they'll give. Well, you have to pay for it, but it'll be there forever. Maybe 100 years to 100 years. Maybe your kids or their kids, or if they decide that about the history, they can go. If they get into Washington, see, They can go and get when I was talking and everything.
Mm.
They can get the video and everything. Anybody can get it. He's there forever in Washington D.C. I think that's about it, mijo.
Okay.
You got another book there. At least you can see. Oh, this one here. I show you the. I think on. I know I did. Yeah, I think I thought it was good. Oh, it's a. I show you for. Oh yeah. This is the one. LST 123.
Mm.
That's the one I want. That's in the Philippines. Write it down there if you want to.
Okay.
And 1944, 1994, the invasion of the Philippine Lady and Luzon.
Mm.
They were two invasion, and that's where I saw MacArthur come in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, you got this. You got everything that I think we cover everything that you could think of, and you know everything now,
Oh yeah.
everything. And you got it on that right there now. Yeah, pretty old compared to when you're young, you're good looking. You get old, you get old. Well, that's part of getting old. You're young once, and you get old, well, you're a different person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you for
I guess
the.
that's about it, mijo.
Okay. Well, thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah, thank you mijo, for coming over. Okay. And think of me once in a while and what I talked to you about. Now you got it right there. So,
Okay.
too bad that I can't be young again. So that's what we're getting old.
Oh yeah.
Just think of you. You're 18 now.
No, yeah.
Well, when I turned 18, I was already fighting.
Oh wow.
I was 17. I was in my first battle. And it didn't care. It didn't bother me one bit. It didn't bother me nothing. I'm too young to know. I was just a little kid, you know. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Mm.
It wasn't any fun. It was pretty dangerous.
Oh yeah.
But I never thought anything about it.
Oh yeah.
Had a job to do, I did it. And if I get killed, I get killed. And I wouldn't even know anyway, so what's the difference?
Mm.
But I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, that thing was, it was 1992, I put it down there in Washington, D.C. 1992, after 41 years, everybody was old. I was the youngest of all of them. And they treat me like a brother. This rich guy here, this one, and this one were rich, and we went everywhere, and they paid for everything. And that helped me a lot. So, and then we took that. Like I said, I learned how to take pictures. I set up my camera, and Lisa clicked it, and that's the picture it got. there it is. Well, it's a big picture that I made a big picture of them. But that's 1992. That's quite a few years.
Oh yeah.
When you were born,
2002.
two, 2000. Well, in 1992, look how old.
Oh wow.
I was 96 today. And then that get together after 41 years or more. We took that picture there for the first time. When we saw each other, everybody was old. There it is. We're young like you. And when we saw each other, there it is. Pretty old, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was 18 years old, I was already in battle. And that's where I met Timo.
Oh.
I was 18 years old then. I turned in November, and then in January we hit Bougainville, and that's where your cousin was there. And so both of us were pretty young. Got to see each other. I guess that's about it, mijo.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we'll see you again, and then I know you will be pretty busy, but if you decide to go into it, it's up to you. I can't tell you what to do, you know. But what I'm worrying about is like Johnny, you know. Johnny put in 4 years. He's a veteran. He got all the veterans' rights and everything. He gets sick, send him to a hospital. They check us every 6 months. They give us a gold. They check us every 6 months. They check us and if we need anything, they'll get it. But the only thing bad about it is that they're not 100%. But they still have to pay for their prescription, and that's the only thing they do. But it's not bad because a lot of those prescriptions are very high. But each student, each serviceman, as if you get a prescription, now you have to pay $4. Before it was $3, and they raised it to $1 more. So all of them have to pay. If they get 10 of them at $4, it adds up, you know. But with me, I don't have to pay for anything, nothing. They give me glasses, they give me everything now. I don't have to pay for nothing. I don't have to pay income tax. So there it is. See what I'm getting now? And that's why I tell you about it. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. You're the only one that can make it. Johnny went in 4 years. He spent 4 years. And he was safe, huh? You know why he was hurt? And he had an office, and he made sergeant right away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right away they gave him a sergeant, and he was in charge of an office in Honolulu. But he never tells me anything what kind of office he was. But they took him, and he got promoted right away. So he must have been pretty good. He made a sergeant right away.
Wow.
He came out Sergeant Kirker.
Sergeant Kirker. Wow.
So that's what I'm telling you about. He spent 4 years. It paid off. He got hospitalization. He got everything. Don't cost him anything. You can go to school. If you want to go to school, when you get out, they'll pay you for your school. And then now I think if you get your kids, I think you can send them to school too, and they pay for them. I think. I'm pretty sure that they're doing it now.
Mm.
If you were in 4 years and you have a family, I think they'll pay them for go to college.
Mm.
So what more can you do?
Oh yeah.
Don't you think you getting paid back whatever you spend up there?
Mm.
It's kind of rough. It's rough. The Marines. Let me tell you, the Marines are tough, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and that's why they got killed.
Mm.
I think they killed a lot of them.
Mm. Sergeant Kirker.
None of them came back. But I'm just telling you that to me, I'm glad that I went in, and now it paid me off. And, okay, what more can you ask?
Oh yeah.
You see it? Yeah. I'm very happy, and now of course I'm pretty old, but I'm in good health. And as long as I'm in good health, if I can last a few years more, well, they're gonna cost them. Is that it?
Oh yeah.
So no, if you keep in touch once in a while, mijo, and if you want to know something else, I'll get it for you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you're the only one, huh? Well, I'm a very nice. Hi, Grandpa. How you doing? I'm doing okay. I see you, Grandpa. And goodbye.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't mind. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference. But none of them. You're the only one, huh? The only one that has come and will know everything about what I did and what happened and all that. You're the only one, okay?
Okay.
And that was because of your grandma too.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't before your grandma, I don't know. I'm very happy, and I'm happy that you came over, and now you know. As small as I am, it doesn't look like it, but being a police officer, truant officer, and I was a board member too.
Mm.
I was in the school board. I had the power. I had the power over the one that kicked me out. I could have kicked him out. And I told him, I said, how do you feel having me as your boss now? But I'm not like you. I told him, I'm to his face. I'm not like you. You didn't care if you kicked me out or anything. Getting $100,000 a year, a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And he was making over 100,000. Just think of it, how much money they make. And I said, no, if I wanted to, I'd get you out. And he didn't say anything. But I was his boss. He was my boss one time, and then I was his boss.
Mm.
I had him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everything worked okay, mijo.
Okay.
Now you know more that I thought I'd give you that picture. Then of course you're Henry and Robert and myself.
Mm.
It's not a very clear, but at least you know now that about Robert and my other two brothers. They died, so you never get to know him. Yeah. Well, it's birth. It had to happen, so there's nothing we can do. But now you know everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything. And you can tell when you tell them about read that thing. If you go read it good, and tell me how you feel about a guy that that saved that many lives and knocked a plane down, and they just gave him a thank you. And then tell him about that guy that he's a millionaire. Well, he died already. He died in a plane crash many years. But if you see the Cowboys, you see him there. They show him all the time. All the time. They show him on TV. And he got to be very famous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
But you saved more. You
Yeah.
saved more lives than him. More
Yeah.
lives.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, mijo.
Okay.
You need anything or want anything else?
Not right now. No.
If you think of something, if I have it, I'll get it for you. But I don't know. I don't know what else I could do. I look at all the. Maybe there's some more, but it's hard to. It's hard to tell, you know. Yeah. Maybe you see when I was real there, like you. Did I show you the picture? You should have taken. Did you take a picture of it?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Yeah. I was about 8. No, I was there. I was about 22 years old. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's it. All I can think of.
Okay.
I'm glad you talked to Johnny too.
Oh yeah.